Hey, everybody, we got Dave, we've got Mike with Mike's Coins in Oklahoma City, and we're getting ready to interview Mike and talk a lot about silver and gold. But we want to introduce you to his nickname is Super Dave. He is a new stacker, guys, and everybody. He went all in on his first purchase from old Mike at Mike's Coins, everybody. Welcome, Super Dave. Tell us what made you get into silver.
I think, well, one, I've been hearing you talk about it, and so I started looking into it. And I just like the idea that it would always have value and kind of helps protect against inflation. And that was a big thing for me. I'm like, I want to diversify.
So your issues are like everybody's issues. The U.S. dollar. Do you think it's going to stay up, or do you think it's going to continue to drop? And we know what you think, Mike.
Well, I think it will. There will be inflation, as there has been, and that silver and precious metals are a way to kind of protect against that. And that really came home. I was talking to a family member the other night. He bought his first car in 1955. He said he had 1,600 silver dollars that he bought it with. And it was worth $1,600 in 1955.
Yeah.
So when I did a quick calculation, I'm like, well, that's $96,000 now.
Well, and of course, those are 90% silver,
right?
But still, I mean,
There was
holy
just
smokes, a silver dollar, and that 90% silver dollar is worth a whole lot more. 1,600 of them. Holy smokes, whatever that calculation you just said. But golly, so now you're a new stacker. Now you're in, and you just got a couple more things today. What did you just get today?
You gave me, not gave.
Yeah, I'm not giving you nothing.
I bought a couple of these prospectors.
Yeah. All right. And those are, I think, what are those, Mike? 86, I think? 86 or 87.
85 or 86.
Yeah. Prospectors, everybody.
Beautiful.
Amazing, amazing coins. And you're going to learn a lot.
1986.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love the prospectors.
And you're
the Eagle Hearts.
Yeah. And you're getting ready to learn a lot more about these too, everybody. So, Dave, welcome to the Silver Stacking family. Hopefully you come to the Silver Stacker Cracker YouTube channel and subscribe and like, and don't make any crappy comments. I know it's you. So thank you, Dave. Congratulations. And let's get to Mike, and let's start talking about some silver, gold, numismatics. Let's just talk about it all. Hey, everybody, SSC, and we've got a special guest. We've got my bullion dealer, Mike. Thanks for coming out, Mike.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
Mike's got a lot to talk about today, everybody. We're going to talk about silver, and maybe even more silver, and maybe a little gold, show you a little gold. But first, we've had lots of questions from viewers about where to buy silver. And that's going to be one of our first things to talk about, Mike, is where are the best places for viewers to start hunting for silver, especially if they're new into stacking. They've never done it before.
Well, there's really four places to go buy your silver. Obviously, there's the most obvious one is the coin shops. There's also pawn shops. There's online bullion dealers, and then there's peer-to-peer, which is your buddies selling each other stuff back and forth. But there's some nuances to each one of those. There's some pros and cons. Coin dealers, for example, coin dealers vary from place to place, and their prices vary from pretty good to a little more expensive than what you should be paying. But in all fairness to the coin dealers, every one of them is a little different. They have buildings they need to pay for, payroll, taxes, insurance, And so depending on their expense load, they're going to have to price their product accordingly. So my suggestion is, if you're going to buy at coin shops, is instead of just jumping in the car and driving all over town, just give them a call. Most coin dealers will be happy to tell you, yes, we have eagles in stock. We have generic silver in stock. We charge this much over spot for eagles. We charge this much over spot for bars. We charge this much over spot for generic coins. And they should be able to tell you that because their pricing is pretty set. I would be leery of any coin shop that you deal with that won't give you a price over the phone. That always has worried me a little bit. Same thing with selling. If you're dealing with coin shops, instead of gathering up your silver that you need to sell to go fix the transmission in your car, the air conditioner in your home, and you need that money right away, be leery of a coin shop that won't tell you what their buy price is. Now, some of them, and this is legitimate, some of them will need to say, what do you have? I need to take a look at it. And they do that because is it in good shape or is it all beat up? But they should have a base price. Some of my favorite coin shops will tell you, we buy generic silver at $2 back or more. And the reason I throw that in there, because the reason I like that is because it gives me a base price to work with. And if I have some really nice collectible generic stuff, they might pay more. But I'm always leery of anyone that will say, well, I can't really give you a price over the phone. Because you may get there and it may be an ugly price. And not, in my opinion, be a fair price. And then you have coin shows. I really like coin shows for my purchases and also for selling. The reason I say that is because you're in a room with an entire group of people that are buying and selling. And some of those guys are like me. I don't necessarily consider myself a coin dealer. I consider myself more of a coin broker. My clientele looks for specific things, and they engage me to go find those specific things, and I do. And I gather them for them. I give them a call. Hey, I found what you're looking for. Here's how much it is. Do you want me to get it or not? And then we kind of take it from there. But you'll have people set up at coin shows that are actual dealers. They have their own shops. And then you'll have guys like me that are just more coin broker than dealers. Then you'll also have what I call the collectors, the folks that have been collecting coins for decades. They'll set up at coin shows because they're looking for stuff to go into their coin collection that you may bring into the show to sell. And they also have extras of things that they don't need anymore that they're willing to sell at a very, very reasonable price. And so one of the things that I like to do at coin shows is when I walk in is take a look around and find the dealers that have the items that I'm looking for. And just don't buy at the first one. My suggestion is always go around to each one of the dealers or collectors or brokers and find what you're looking for and ask them how much it is. And then, okay, thanks. Maybe take a little piece of paper, write down I'm at table number 7, and he said this much. And you go around because sometimes you'll find it cheaper at another table. And the reason it's cheaper, he may not have as much in it.
Right.
Right. And so he doesn't need a large amount. A lot of pricing comes from what did they buy it at and what are they going to sell at. They may have bought this stuff 10 years ago when silver was $22, and they don't mind selling it at spot today. Where other dealers may have bought it last week and now they have to have a premium because silver dropped a little bit. And so that particular scenario, coin shows are my favorite. And then you have pawn shops. And we have to kind of be careful with pawn shops. And the reason I say that is there's some legalities with pawn shops. When they come and they buy this 10-ounce bar from you, they have to go set it on their shelf for 30 days. there's a lot of things that can happen in the silver market in 30 days. So they have to kind of buy according to what they think may or may not happen. And none of us knows what's going to happen. It could go up $2. It could drop $5. We don't know. So selling to a pawn shop is a little catchy. Not to say that it's a bad thing. It's just a little odd. Buying from a coin show. Buying from a pawn shop can also be pretty good, because some of the times when they buy this, they know what they paid for it. They price it accordingly, let it set on the shelf, and then they put it out on their table, or they put it out in their display cases. And when that happens, they may have bought it at 50. They price it at 55, and then 30 days later, the price of silver is 62. Well, the price tag on it says 55. So you can find some good deals at the pawn shop.
So Mike, will they adjust their silver price like these coin shops do when the price goes up and maybe down?
Some do, and the ones that I've seen that do make the adjustments on the up and down, they'll never adjust down below what they paid for it, but they will adjust up if the price goes up, and that is mostly those are the independently owned pawn shops. Most of your nationally owned franchise pawn shops, if franchise is the right word, but corporate owned pawn shops,
Pawn or something.
yeah, those, they put a price on it, and that's what it is. I've been in several pawn shops. There's one pawn shop that's between Oklahoma City and Dallas, that when I'm going to Dallas, I always stop there, because I've walked in and I have bought gold from them below spot, because they had bought it when it went down and gold was up, and their price tag was sitting there $50 under spot for an ounce of gold.
Oh,
And so, yeah, I go ahead and say, I'll take
we're
that
on
one.
that.
Pardon me. And then the fourth way really that I like a lot is peer-to-peer. A lot of us stackers know other stackers, and we know that, he has some Sunshine Mint bars. Well, if I have a client looking for a Sunshine Mint bar, my first call is going to be, would you like to sell one of your Sunshine Mint bars? And if he says, yeah, then I would prefer to get it from my fellow stackers. And you generally will get good prices, because we kind of take care of each other. There's not a business involved in this. I don't have rent, utilities, taxes, insurance, all that stuff. I don't have that. So I love doing peer-to-peer work.
So a lot of people don't understand, and I know there's a lot of coin shops that are priced way out of hand, and most of them are right in line. But a lot of people don't understand, especially with these coin shops that are like maybe a really high dollar looking coin shop and set up beautifully, that they got to pay for that stuff. And they have 5 employees that they got to pay for. And so a lot of times those prices will be higher. And you can go to a coin shop that is an absolute dive and be some of the best guys. And I've seen some of them here in Oklahoma City be the best guys to deal with. And it's the most unorganized shop you've ever seen. But
I agree.
I know that one.
yeah, you know what I'm talking.
I know
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, but good guys, and so they still have overhead too. They still have to pay rent and utilities and everything else, and try to still make a living at a few dollars over spot price. You have to sell a lot of silver. So, what are some of the peer-to-peer? What do we got? Peer-to-peer and pawn shops, coin shops.
And then the online dealers.
Okay.
The online dealers are pretty straightforward. The only, and this is my personal opinion, the only negative I have with the online dealers is each online dealer has their own spot price. Most of the coin brokers and coin dealers, independents, we run off of Kitco Spot.
Yep.
But you have your big coin dealers throughout the United States and the world for that matter. But if you look, Online dealer A says spot is 58.32. Online dealer B says spot is 58.01. And Kitco might be 59.12. So I've never seen, and I'm not going to say it hasn't happened, but I can't recall the last time I saw an online dealer at Kitco pricing.
Yeah, I've seen them lately because I look at them regularly. All the big bullion dealers, they're anywhere from 80 cents to $1 higher on their ticker spot price than what Kitco is. And most of all the reputable people go off of Kitco.
Yep.
And
The ones that I've seen are mostly the ones I deal with. We all use Kitco. You walk into a coin show in Dallas, Oklahoma City, Fort Smith, Wichita, Kansas, and you ask, how much is this? And let me check spot. They pull up Kitco on their phone. Here's where it's at. Here's where I'm at. It's that easy. But the online dealers, they do have some cool stuff. They have stuff in their warehouses that average folks like us, we don't get to see very often. So they do have some great stuff, and they're good and reputable. It's just the pricing's a little different for me. Like I say, I prefer peer-to-peer. I prefer coin shows.
yeah, I'll tell you what. And something that I didn't know that Mike did until actually yesterday. I mean, folks, within that metro area of Oklahoma City, he delivers.
Yeah.
He's better than Uber or DoorDash. Now, you might get charged a little bit of a fuel surcharge naturally because he doesn't make anything on this silver hardly at all the way he sells it. And so, he can't absorb $15 or $20 or $30 worth of fuel to deliver your silver, but man, he will work with you. So, and we didn't know that till yesterday. Of course, you told me that, and I'm like, man, I don't know how you do that. But so let's change the subject just a little bit, and let's talk about. Let's go back to January this year. You have taught me a few things about silver price that I've brought onto the viewers. But we skyrocketed, parabolic, massive rocket of silver, and even I bought at that time.
We all did.
I bought, so I'm in triple digits on some of it, and so it's declined pretty hard till now, but it's starting to show a little signs of life. But we've got a dollar, the U.S. dollar, we've got the oil. What do you think is going to happen for possibly the rest of 2026, Mike, on where maybe silver and gold is going to go? I have an idea, and the big central banks are predicting, a little bit less than what they were. But what's your thoughts?
Well, I've been 100% correct on all of my predictions.
I have not.
My prediction is it will either go up or it will go down. So I've been 100% correct.
Okay, that's how we're going to do our morning videos, everybody. It's going to go up or it's going to go down.
That's it. But in all seriousness, there's a lot of things that come into play when we're talking about silver, because silver is part of silver has a monetary value to it. A lot of the silver has an industrial use. So a lot of things come into play on the price of silver. How many AI things are going to be built that uses a lot of silver? How many electric vehicle batteries are coming into play?
That new solid state battery takes a kilo per battery.
Yeah.
A kilo of silver.
So how many of those are going to come into play? That's not information that at my level that I have. But one of the things I've noticed is the big banks worldwide are still buying gold and silver. They're still putting it away. And at some point, there's going to come where silver has to go up. Now, will it go up next month? Will it go up by the end of the year? Will it go up at the end of the year? You take a look at the charts. One of the things that I think is funny right now is people are really in the doldrums. Look, silver's down, and they're comparing it to January. It's down, and this is a bummer and all that. A year ago, it was $38.
That's right.
Today we're at 58 and people are complaining. Well, if you were stacking a year ago, you've done pretty well.
Yeah.
$20
Yeah,
an ounce
we
profit.
did. Yeah.
And you go back even farther, in the mid-teens, we were looking at, or in the mid-O's, 2000 to 2010, we were in the 20s.
When did you start stacking?
I've always kind of collected, I'll divert for a minute. I got started when I was a kid. My grandfather smoked cigars and they came in this little glass tube with a cork on it. And he would save the glass tubes and the cork and he put dimes in them. And so Christmas, birthdays, I got a big old cigar tube full of Mercury dimes. And so, obviously I wish I still had those, but things came up and they needed to be moved on.
Yeah.
But I remember he gave me an 1886 S $5 Liberty Head gold piece that I thought was really cool. And we used that.
We got Dave just showed up, everybody. We'll be talking to Super Dave shortly, new stacker. But let's move on in your stacking.
So, and then, but about the mid 2000s is when I really got into putting stuff away. I think about a story that was told to me one time about in 1964, if you went into a bank and bought a roll of dimes, it cost you $5. You could take that roll of dimes and you could go out and you could buy $5 worth of goods and services. If you had that roll of dimes today, it would buy you approximately $200 worth of goods and services. And I think about if I'd have taken that $5 and put it in the bank, how much would that $5 be worth today? $20, $30, $40 now with compounding interest? Or I could have bought the $5 worth of dimes and held it today and it'd be worth $200. So I look at silver as a long-term investment. It's not something you buy today and try to play the market and sell it next month. Silver is a long-term investment. If you look at the charts, you have all of your ups and downs, but you go back 5 years, did you make money today if you bought it 5 years ago? If you buy it today, you're going to make money 5 years from now. It's going to go up, but there's going to be some peaks and valleys in the middle that is going to stress you. Buy it, put it away. It's a long-term investment.
Yeah, and think about it. 5 years, especially for all you new stackers, just got into this. Let's say you got into it 2 months ago at $80 an ounce. They're predicting in 5 years, well over 150 average pricing for silver.
Absolutely.
5 years, guys. 5 years for somebody by our age goes by like it in
Pretty
one
quick.
day. So it's really not a long time at all to be holding silver for 5 years or 10 years or 15 years. If you're 35 years old and you're buying 5 ounces of silver a month, okay, that's basically adding a little to your savings account. And 20 years from now, look at what you have. So, yeah, I mean, dimes. So what is, is it constitutional? Is that the better silver to have, you think, than maybe a round or a currency coin like these? These are what are these? The Philharmonics,
Yeah,
and some generics. Beautiful.
The cheapest way to stack silver today is with the constitutional silver, because almost everybody sells it below spot. And so when you stop and think, if you're just stacking silver and you can buy it at spot or below, that's the way to go when you're not paying any premiums. The premiums remind me of back in the day when you would invest in a mutual fund and they charged you 2%. Well, you immediately, when you invest, you lost 2%. The same way with silver. When you pay a premium, you immediately lose that value. And now premiums are necessary. I mean, for me, for example, I have a very low premium, but I also have to pay for my gas to go deliver it. And so I kind of factor that in. And the coin shops, they have overhead, so they have to have a premium. But right now, the junk silver or constitutional, the junk silver is the cheapest silver to buy. I have some. I believe in diversifying my stack. I do have some. Personal preference, I personally like 999 generic silver. It's the lowest premium 999 you can get. When you start getting into Philharmonics, Maples, Kangaroos, Eagles, there's a little bit of a larger premium. Now, on the backside to that, when you go to sell it, you'll normally get more for
like these.
for your sovereigns. And that's like these. Now, this is a generic, but it's a collector generic. That's a whole separate subject.
Engelhard.
These Engelhards Engelhard went out of business in 1988. So any Engelhard you get is considered vintage and collectible. You'll pay more for Engelhard than you will a Buffalo round. You know? And it's like the Engelhard prospectors. They only made these from 82 to 87. And so you have 82, 83, 84, all the way up to 87. And so these are very collectible too. But one of the things about these is kind of be a little careful when you go to buy a prospector, because they do make generic prospectors. It'll have the same front on it, but what you have to do is just flip it over to the other side where it says Engelhard. Make sure that it says Engelhard on it, because some of the generic prospectors, they're not Engelhard prospectors. That's just a little tidbit to take a look at.
Oh, yeah, so that could fool you. Yeah, we'll definitely want to make it say Engelhard. Now this one, now guys, we got these from Mike. These are Engelhard bars. These are kind of special. Kind of give us a little history on these things. These were made in the 80s.
Yeah, these the Engelhard bars, a lot of them have a serial number on them. The 1 ounce, the 5 ounce, the 10 ounce, the 100 ounce, but they have a prefix to them. There's the P prefix, there's the W prefix, there's the C prefix. This is an FM prefix. They only used the FM prefix for a few years, and when silver got really high, there was a lot of these that were sold and melted. And so the FM prefix has become a little bit of a collector item. So when you take a look at Engelhard bars and you look at the serial numbers, that prefix can mean some things.
That's really, really cool. So they, and I even did an AI search, just saying, hey, how many of these are left? And they basically said the same thing. A lot of these were They don't know exactly how many are left because most of them are in collectors' hands.
Yep.
Most of them are in collectors' hands. And Mike has gotten me into this. And we've got this beautiful 10-ounce bar, everybody, that Mike's sold us. And I wouldn't be SSC if I didn't drop something, right? That's a normal thing.
Yeah.
But what a beautiful bar, Dave. Look, check that out. Look at that one. That's Super Dave, everybody. You'll see him here shortly. But so I'm really hooked on Engelhard. I know there's a higher premium on Engelhard.
There is.
And
I call that the collector premium.
That's the collector premium. And speaking of collector stuff, okay, so we've got just an overview. We've got the generic rounds, or generic and constitutional, anything pre-64. Some after 65 is 40%, but pre-64 and under is 90%, or 64 and under 90%. But what about, I have a lot of slab stuff. So what about people that collect the graded bars? There's extra cost. You can take, we got a Libertad, we got some of the Eagles and stuff.
You have these Eagles, and these are what I consider, this is the American Silver Eagle is the U.S.'s bullion coin. They are, when they're slabbed and graded like this, they no longer, in my opinion, no longer are they a bullion coin. They are a collector coin. And obviously, when they're slabbed and graded like this, whether it be from Annex or whether it be from NGC or PCGS, they are a collector coin, and they are going to carry a much higher premium. As an example, if you send this coin in right here as a raw coin to get graded, it's going to cost you about $30 per coin. So when you see these slabbed and graded coins, there's automatically going to be a premium on them just because of the cost to have them graded. And hopefully you get a good grade, a 70.
Yeah, 70, 69 is good, 70 is the best.
Yeah.
So other stuff like our kangaroo that we've got, and
Yeah.
we've got another one coming, but
Yeah.
that's a very special coin.
It is, and these were very few were minted. This has the old kangaroo on it
Yeah.
compared to the new Australian kangaroos, completely different kangaroo. And then you have the Libertad. Right now, Libertads are one of the hottest pieces of silver on the market. The Libertad, and the way I kind of word it is the Libertad is the American silver eagle of Mexico. It's their national bullion coin. They're very collectible, very high premiums. There are some 2025 Libertad. I think there was 350 of them ever minted. Those are going for thousands of dollars for 1 ounce of silver. So, and that brings me to one of the things you and I talked about a little bit was to me there's two types of silver. There's investment silver and there's fun silver. The collectible is the fun silver. You collect it because you like it.
Right.
But then there's investment silver. The investment silver is the silver you stack that you're going to use years later to supplement your retirement income or buy a boat or buy a house or whatever you want to do with it, because it grows at a greater rate than a passbook savings account at the bank.
Speaking of the bank, the dollar. Everybody knows I hate the U.S. dollar, but what about these things?
Oh, these are awesome.
I got a couple of them.
These
You
are
like
awesome.
these? You've
Oh,
got.
I like these. I have some of these. I have some of these as well. I'm a big $2 bill fan. And so I like collecting the different $2 bills over the years, the red seals and the silver certificates and the different years. I love finding the old money like this that are star notes, that have the star. And if you're not familiar with the star note, as these come off of the press, if something gets torn or something and it's not going to be usable, they'll pull that sheet off and they'll reprint it with the exact same serial number and everything, but there's a star right next to the serial number. That's a replacement note. And those are highly collectible. And I have a $2 bill that's a regular $2 bill. It's worth about $5. But I have the exact same one in the exact same condition. That's a star note that the book says it's worth $65.
So they're relatively inexpensive to have fun and collect.
Yep.
And like this, I think I paid about, what did I tell you I paid for this? I think I paid $10 for it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
For this silver certificate, 1957. B.
Yeah, these are really cool. If you're collecting paper currency, the paper quality really drives the value of these, and the folds in it. If you have one that you can see a fold on, that kind of detracts from the value. You look at the edges. Make sure there's no, I think I had a currency dealer one time tell me that you look for the cancer, which is the little brown spots because something's got on it. All of those things kind of detract from the value. So when you're looking at currency, you're really wanting to find perfect paper, no folds, no variations in the color. That really helps with the grading.
So is the 65 a good grading? Is the PPQ, is that paper quality? Is that what that is?
I'm not exactly sure. This comes from PCGS, which is a very reputable grading service. Most of the graded currency that I have come from PMG, which was the original folks, and they have the same grading system, 70 being the best. And then, so this is a 65. And so this is a very high quality grade for currency.
And that's a funny back.
Yeah.
That's a 28 funny back note. The difference.
See the difference in the backs of them. And so the oddities like that, being a funny back adds to the value of it. A grade 65 adds to the value of it. These are awesome. I love old currency.
They're cool. I like to get some Confederate currency
Mm-hmm.
and do some of that stuff. So basically, constitutional silver is one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Generic silver is one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you covered this, but because of the premiums on like ASEs, American Silver Eagles, versus the generic silver, and they're both silver,
Mm-hmm.
in the long term, what are you going to make more money on?
Well,
Typically,
it has been my experience that if you go buy an American Silver Eagle and you pay a $3, $4, $5, $6 premium, depending on where you're buying it at and who you're buying it from, you bought 1 ounce of silver with a $3 to $6 premium. Or you buy a Buffalo, just a generic Buffalo round or a generic Sunshine Mint bar, you pay $1 to $3 premium on it. 10 years from now, when you go to sell those, you're probably going to get about the same amount on the buyback for each one. So the Silver Eagles, and I know there's going to be comments on this video saying, that's bull, that's bull. I always get more for my American Silver Eagles, and you probably do. It's just my opinion that 10 years from now, an ounce of silver is an ounce of silver.
yeah, and just who knows what's going to happen.
And
in
I'm
10
not a
years.
financial advisor, by the way.
Neither am I, by the way. We're not and neither is Mrs. SSC. Well, she's my financial advisor, but not your financial advisor.
Right.
Neither am I, guys. So, hey, I think what a great time. And we're going to look at some stuff. Everybody, have a great Tuesday. Mike, thank you so much
thank you
for coming. This has been an absolute blast. And then we're going to get David. We're going to talk to David, our new stacker.
Yeah.
Brand new stacker in the silver stacking world that bought his first stack from you. We're going to show that to you, everybody. So everybody have a fantastic Tuesday. Mrs. SSC, we're out.